welcome back to another video, and today, as you guys can see from the thumbnail, it's a pretty interesting video. So right now we're headed to get my gooseneck and take that back, and then we have to drag the frame and the bed out and then go set the body on it. With that being said, I am going to do a full color reveal in this video. I know in the last video you guys seen that the bed had a couple of clips inside of there. I really didn't like put two and two together and think about that I haven't revealed the color, but in this video you guys will see the color. You guys have already seen it probably from the thumbnail. If you didn't see it in the thumbnail, just stay tuned, we'll get to that. So get the gooseneck, get back, get that drug out of the garage, the roller I should say, and go set the body on it. So to the trailer we go. Make it to where I can clamp my hands and like the tailgate drops down, but for now we gotta get out and manually open up the tailgate. One of these days as well, we will invest in the hydraulic jacks on the gooseneck. But for now, let's sit here and freeze our ass off. Good enough for me. So we got the dually roller onto the trailer, and we are now going to set the cab on it and see how the color combination looks. I mean, obviously we can't tell. Oh, I about hit the stop sign with my bed. That's kind of a weird saying. My bed about hit the stop sign. Yeah, obviously we can't tell how it's going to look quite yet until we get the tires on it, but we should see how the color combo looks, and maybe we get into some gas station light and just see like all the pearl pop. But
those look pretty good.
Those definitely work very well. I think I should just get gas station lighting like everywhere. Like those like big towers on my trailer that just shine on my truck like a GTA server.
You think?
So to put in the cab on.
How do you think it looks?
It's cold how it looks.
It is cold.
Here's our hill building.
This is how we turn him.
Tire turner. Alright, so take like a little break from the dually, but we kind of had to. Last night I had a truck picked up. Well, no, 2 days ago I had a truck picked up that was in Florida, as you guys can see. And now it is here in Chicago. So what this is an 05.60 Power Stroke, but right now it's a 0.0 Power Stroke.
Yeah, she's kind of missing a few numbers there.
She's missing the engine. She's not missing the transmission. She's missing the drive shafts and a couple more key components to it. But I think it is completely rust free. Actually, I don't think, I know it is. Bought it for a very good price in Florida. Had a semi tow it up here, and I sold it for a very good price in Indiana. Let's just say I doubled my money. So when you guys think, how does Brandon make all of his money? Yes, I do social media full time, and I kind of buy these things with like ideas, and then usually I just sell them. So this one we just bought, and then we just sold it. So now we're headed up to like O'Hare Airport in Chicago. We're gonna drop this thing off and then get home. Maybe we'll start looking for a new build because the dually is closing in. To dropping off the 6.0 and back to the dually. Well, as you guys see, I didn't really think about filming the red 6.0 and loading it, but now the Ford's gone, which means we're back in town. It's now the next day. I apologize for not filming it. You guys don't want to see just the truck rolling off the trailer and saying goodbye, even though I just introduced the truck to the channel. Anyways, we're headed right now to O'Reilly's to grab some batteries for the dually and go back to the barn. And I guess I'll do a quick little walk around of the color and all that stuff before the video ends. Alright, well, as you guys can see here, I don't quite have my filler neck deal hooked up, so hang a light right here.
Oh, you can't see.
That should work. And look down here, I built this little contraption with my fuel can that takes one press of a button
Technical difficulties.
hold on, we're experiencing some. Oh, alright. Look at that. That's how you fill up your truck. It might be easier if I just like delete that altogether, make it fill up underneath, because look at this. 2 gallons.
Shit's already gone.
Just like that, I got 5 gallons into my truck, which means, as you guys can see here, the truck's massive. It doesn't fit in a garage, a normal shop. You have to have literal 15-foot fucking doors to get the truck into an enclosed environment. So, we now have, I would say, another solid week of doing finishing touches, like stuff like this, dually flare lights, and odds and ends, build the sway bar, build the drive shafts, or just maybe throw that rusty drive shaft in it. What do you guys think? Should we do all this work to the truck and then just throw in like a rusty stock Ford drive shaft? Because why not? That way it has something to talk about. There's nothing wrong with it. But you have to have one thing wrong with your build. That way you can make it like on truck rice. And it's been about 4 years since I've made it on truck rice. So yeah, let's get truck rice from that nice polished drive shaft I have down there. So fuel's in it. We got the whole engine bay already hooked up, and now I can get it started hopefully. And we got to put on the turbo feed line, a couple other small things, power steering hose, and top it off with fluids. The interior is almost together. I gotta get the seat redone and a couple dash pieces, and that's done. So fuel's in it. Let's get under the hood. We're gonna get the turbo line on, and let's see if this thing starts. What are you working on, Colin?
The speed line on. I ain't got the right size wrench, so we're just gonna deal with it until I get back down. Because it's kind of a jump up here if you get any attention. I mean,
Yeah. We gotta stand on the skid steer to work on the truck. So if you guys know anything about machinery, this is a TL12 Tok that we got the bucket up this high, and that just reaches the frame. So that should tell you guys about how big this truck actually is. I mean, was that a 6-foot ladder? And the 6-foot ladder doesn't go past the fender. He's working on getting the feed line done. I think we gotta tighten it up down here, and then we should be able to start cranking it. I gotta get the power steering return line hooked up from the gearbox to the pump. All these lines are on. All right, so we just got the power steering line on. This is all tight. Everything's tight. The only thing we're missing is boost tubes, which really doesn't matter at this exact moment.
They're over there in the box anyway.
And then we got to get an EGT probe, so it doesn't have an exhaust leak, but that really doesn't matter at this very second. That will come when I buy the tuner, unless I end up buying a P-pump for it, because, you know, a P-pump 24 valve would be pretty sweet inside here the more I think about it. And just having a big, huge injection pump with big lines and compound turbos might be the move for this truck and for the next truck, because now that I've done one engine, with all this powder coat, I think it needs P-pump and twin turbos. So that's on the list. But we're gonna go ahead and get it fired up. Hopefully, everything's plugged in. We went over everything. Gotta hang up the relay still for the fuel pump. Starter's in, everything's in, so that leaves us with turning it on and hoping everything goes well. I just climbed down my 6-foot ladder to get into my monster truck. Got no fuel pump. We got no fuel pump turning on, so that explains it. There's not even a relay in there for the fuel pump. Now there is. So, as you guys can see here, the ECM off of my truck, which is an 01, no longer wants to function. So what we did yesterday is we went and we grabbed one from a buddy that he had, and I plugged it in the truck, and now we have fuel turning on. So now the lift pump turns on. Has an air dog on it, so it doesn't have the stock fuel system anymore. But now we should be able to get it started. Everything's plugged in, everything is replaced, so the only problem we could face is this PCM not working either. So let's get this thing started up and see what happens.